everybody. Just a quick recap of where we've got to so far, and we're actually going to read the last chapter that we read just before the holiday, just to recap. So we're going to hear a chapter we've already heard. Violet, if you remember, went missing, and Herbie went and found her at Sebastian Eels' house. There were 2 other people there, but we don't know who those 2 other people were. However, Boat Hook Man was also there. And Boat Hook Man, if you remember, we've now found out is Captain Kraken, who was the captain hundreds of years ago on the ship. And he used the Malamander egg to wish for eternal life, to live forever. And it's given him a curse now instead. So he wants to break the curse. Lady Kraken, who is his granddaughter, I think. She's related to him. She wants to break the curse for him, but Sebastian Eels also wants the egg for himself. So we're going to start the chapter that we read together just before Christmas as a reminder, and then tomorrow we'll do the new chapter. So this chapter is called Fear and Vapour. Suddenly, the idea of creeping back downstairs past the study door doesn't seem very appealing. I look at Violet, who's pointing upwards. The 3rd flight of stairs in Sebastian Eels' house is narrower than the others. We creep up and find an attic floor with lower ceilings. There must be another way out, Violet whispers as she pushes open the nearest door. It creaks loudly, and we freeze where we stand. But no angry voice shouts up at us, and the 2 men remain in the study below, engrossed in their talk of nighttime plans and harpoon guns. We enter what looks like a box room filled with old furniture and crates. There's a small sink in the corner with a dripping tap. On the outside of the single dormer window, I see the snow-laden tiles of the roof. Are you good with heights? Violet asks. Of course, I squeak, if they're good with me. Violet heads to the window. Wait, I say, I need to know something first. Herbie, what is wrong with you? I just need to know that you aren't keeping anything from me. Like what? Like, I tug at my cap, like who those people are who visited Eels just now, the man and the woman. How would I know that? Violet almost forgets to whisper. Then she stares at me. You don't think... I don't know what to think anymore, I say with a shrug, but I have only your word for it that you are looking for your parents. It seems to me that it's going to be impossible to find them, and yet here you are anyway, poking about in Eels' study and getting involved in our local legends. Violet's expression is cold and incredulous. For a moment, the only sound is the dripping of the tap. Poking about, Violet says at last. She's squared up to me now and has balled her fists. It's your stupid legends that got involved with me. I know I'm being unreasonable, but something still doesn't add up. Just then, the dripping tap starts to rattle, water sputtering from the spout. We both turn to it. As we watch, vapour begins to pour out of the tap, billowing into a cloud of mist. But it doesn't move like an ordinary cloud. It gathers instead into a shape. A great, looming shape. The shape of a man. Boat Hook Man! Vi and I both cry out. And it's true, no matter how unbelievable it sounds, the mist is rapidly solidifying into the old captain, his vacant eyes, his dripping beard, and the part that is most solid of all is his vicious hook. The window, Vi yells, and she twists the catch, flinging it open. Boat Hook Man lifts his hook hand high and sweeps it towards me. I drop to the floorboards and his arm slices through the air where I was just standing, showering me with water. You cannot stop us, he roars like a gathering storm. I will be free. By now, Vi is out of the window and clinging to the snowy frame. Quick, Herbie! I jump to my feet, pushing the cap out of my eyes, but Boat Hook Man is between me and the window now, bringing his hook hand up again. I grab something from the nearest crate, an old silver tea tray, and hold it like a shield just as the hook comes crashing down. I see the underside of the tray bulge and the split as the hook punctures it. The tray is wrenched from my hand. The man bellows with fury. I'm running now, straight for the window, but I don't think I'll make it. Then something white flashes past me and flies up at Boat Hook Man. It spits and hisses and wraps itself around the man's face. I look back and realise what it is. Erwin! The cat is attacking the old mariner's head ferociously, raking at him with his claws. But instead of blood, only water spouts from the wounds. Come on, shouts Vi, and I don't need telling again. I grab her hand and she pulls me out onto the roof. Or rather, the narrow stretch of roof below the windowsill. The snowy ground 4 stories below wavers before my eyes. The boat hook man finally gets his hand on Erwin and the poor cat is flung to one side. I wish I could do something to help Erwin, but it's all I can do to edge away from the window before boat hook man lunges at it, his face a blank raw, his beard streaming with salt water from his torn face. He thrusts his hook hand forward again, but the tray is still stuck to it, and catches it on the window. "Don't look down," says Vi, pulling me further along, her feet braced against the lead guttering. It bulges with our combined weight. The roof is steep, and the tiles offer no grip whatsoever. "Where should I look then?" I gasp, as the guttering makes another groan. "Back?" I give back a try, and instantly regret it. Boat hook man is already climbing out of the window, the tray shaken free of his hook. "The next door roof looks flatter," says Vi, "and it's only a small jump." "Jump?" I say. But what choice do we have? Boat hook man is standing on the guttering now, with shrieks and twists as the metal gives under his watery bulk. And I'm not far enough away. He raises his hook hand to strike at me yet again, so I duck. Then something happens that changes everything. An object flashes over my head. It's one of Sebastian Eels's harpoons. If I hadn't been ducking at that moment, the harpoon wouldn't have been flashing over anything, because it would have been going straight through me. Instead, it strikes the roof tiles above with a crack, sending up an explosion of snow before ricocheting back and clonking boat hook man on the face. The ancient sailor, as surprised as I am by all this, clutches at his face with both hand and hook, letting go of the window frame. And he falls. I can't turn away, can't not look as the man plunges down, 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 and shatters into a great cloud of swirling vapour and ice particles on the snowy cobbles below. As the mist whirls away to nothing, I see someone standing there, just beyond the empty man-shaped crater of snow. Sebastian Eels looking up at us, fury on his face, and still holding his harpoon gun. "Now!" shouts Vi, and she runs to the gap at the next house. Without pausing, she jumps. She lands, and her feet slide. Leaning forward into the tile, she braces against the guttering and stops. "Herbie, come on!" I look down again. Sebastian Eels raises his harpoon gun and takes aim. I don't even have time to straighten my cap. I run at the gap and jump. It's as I'm sailing through the frosty air, high above the town of Erie-on-Sea, that I see the harpoon hit Violet.